you just said your brother's a cheapskate. He's only rented the place till 12.
Till midnight. They're kicking us out. So here we are, East London, Bethnal Green, the iconic York Hall, and they're turfing us out at midnight. Can't believe it.
Let's go through the card then. Obviously headlined by Harlem Eubank. It proved a tough night for him, but he come through it. A few knockdowns and just what you need on the route to these big fights.
Well, I think first of all, credit to Harlem Eubank, because 48 hours ago, actually, Tuesday, his original opponent landed into the. Thank you very much. Landed in the UK, the first Argentinian of the week, and he was in. Hasn't left his hotel room since. Still here. So we had a choice whether to pull the main event, which would have mean pulling pretty much the whole card. Harlem said no. We had a replacement on standby. He was actually supposed to be boxing in 10 days' time. So it was, it was unlucky but lucky in a certain way. I think by doing it, Harlem put himself into a tough position, boxing a guy on 24 hours notice, a guy that clearly was in shape, and didn't come here to make up the numbers. So from that point of view, it was a box ticked on. You know, I think it was George Groves said in the commentary. Apparently, it was you know, that's part of the journey. You know, you have to go through short-term switches. You have to go through different mindsets. He's had an up and down week, and he's come out. You know, he's come out good. Made occasionally too much of a war of it instead of keeping it long. But like I said, it's all about learning.
Kalle, and we talk about Matty Harris. He put on a devastating performance again. He's not had a big amateur background, but he's making up for, you know, what he didn't do in the amateurs on the job kind of thing. But he's really producing a lot of highlight reel knockouts now. How pleased are you with Matty Harris and his development so far?
It's a good point. I mean, I'm quite happy he didn't have too much of an amateur resume, because we would have had a lot more competition for signing him, and we're very happy to have him with us. I think he's, out of many talented young heavyweights, he is the one that for me stands out. And he's bangs with both hands. Yeah. It's fantastic. And what was it, 23 seconds?
Yeah, it's not like that.
That's got to be some sort of annual record at least.
Yeah. Kalle, just quickly, not yesterday, the day before, we've got to come on to the board released a statement, I think it was with the Guardian, saying that they wouldn't sanction a fight between somebody with Conor Benn.
Yeah,
and if they
I saw the statement.
Can I just get your reaction to the statement made in the Guardian quickly?
Yeah.
Any concerns then with a potential fight if Chris Eubank Jr. is to go into this with Conor Benn? Any concerns now with that statement?
Yeah. Yep. Next question.
Kalle, can I ask about a couple of the German contingent, young Sophie, made a UK debut?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Really excited about.
Yeah, look, she sorry, let me just go back. You know, because I'm wound up. I get wound up when I hear these.
No, I've got to ask you.
No, you are. No. And no. I'm not wound up about you. It's just that such statements I will comment on in time. Yeah. But I'd also like to hear a statement once. Where was our communication when we were waiting 5 weeks when everyone knew that he'd had a positive test and we weren't informed? Why didn't the board inform us? Isn't that the duty of the board? So I don't know. I'm not going to comment on what they're saying about foreign things now, because right now, A, it's irrelevant. We haven't applied for anything, and B, I think it's a bit out of turn to be talking about Chris Eubank Jr. when you owe Chris Eubank Jr. an explanation. Now we'll turn to Sophie Alish. I had to get off of my chest. So Sophie Alish, in fact, look, she's had issues outside the ring, injuries and such. She came back. I didn't even think she needed the first round to shake off the ring rust. It was fantastic. She's one to look out for. WBC Prospect of the Year twice, I think. prospect of the year don't really buy you too much, but it does tell you that there's something to watch. She will be a world champion if she continues to be active. She's very active outside the ring on, you know, brand ambassador for so many different things. But, you know, I think that the sporting side of things are now going to come blossoming this year, and she just needs activity. And it's, you know, we've got the platforms for her. She's obviously live on the Zone in Germany tonight, so that's good. Abasparu as well. For you asked, from Germany, he goes into the European Championship fight next. He looked fantastic tonight, working great out that boxing booth gym. So yeah, the German contingent, very good. Dennis Radovan last week as well. IBF final eliminator coming up for the middleweight world championship. So hopefully Germany have a couple of world champions again.
Bit of a rebuild for German boxing then.
It is. It's been slow. It's been many years where Germany never, you know, if you look at the golden years of the 90s, the 2000s, and, you know, the last few years have been tough for German boxing. And you see, you know, Dennis Radovan, Abasparu, Sophie Alish, 3 people who probably will fight for a world title in the next 12, 18 months. So still got around to do it, but it's good.
Kalle, where do you stand right now in terms of the rematch with Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr.? Boxers Ben Shalom says, look, the contract is with you guys, so is that the next fight for Chris Eubank Jr.?
The contract's with us, right? Yeah, no, I mean, we had a meeting this week with Boxer. We've still got stuff to sort out. There isn't a contract with us. We have a contract for the first bout. We activated a rematch for the second rematch bout, so to speak, subject to contract. That contract we are negotiating at the moment.
So, with Chris Eubank Jr., you're negotiating a contract with Chris Eubank Jr. Have I misheard that right, or is that what you're saying?
No. So we have Chris Eubank Jr. under contract.
Okay.
We activated, subject to contract, a rematch, and that bout agreement for the rematch is something that we're negotiating at the moment with Boxer.
How far are those negotiations?
They're going on.
Likely?
You'd hope so, yeah. I mean, you know, it's not too difficult, but yeah, we're working on it. I'll put it that way.
Filip Hrgović will be ringside for Ante Joshua's fight tomorrow. You'd expect him to be there anyway, but could Filip Hrgović be a potential opponent for Ante Joshua? Where does he fit in the equation right now with Usyk and Dubois and the mandatories?
It's a good question because it's quite interesting. There's a lot of different things that can happen. You know, El Animal landed on UK soil tonight. You know, Hrgović is the IBF mandatory. We've heard that Dubois is, according to the WBA, the next in line. There's a lot of question marks around his ability to take that fight. I saw that they've asked for a neutral medical opinion on it. That's something we don't know much about, but of course we keep an eye on. But if you look at if they would order an interim, I think one of the next in line is after Andy Ruiz turned down the fight. So I think it is Joshua next, so he's definitely up there. He will be after this weekend if he gets a win. Yeah, so you know, could be next. Yeah.
Opened any talks even in the smallest sense about the fight?
No, it's not. You know, it's not. We've talked about every fight. We wouldn't. There's not enough hours in the day, but it's, you know, it's obviously, you know, we co-promote Hrgović anyways with Matchroom, yeah. So it's been quite well, you'd hope it'd be quite an easy one to make.
Just want to get your thoughts on another thing, that being Dylan White versus Derek Chisora trilogy is being mooted there. A lot of people want to see Derek Chisora maybe retire. How do you feel?
Be careful, innit? You know, I'll probably see Del Boy up North London in the next few days. So no, I'd love to see Del Boy take another 50 fights. No, joking aside, look, I promoted the first one. It was a fantastic fight. When I made the fight, I thought it wasn't going to be a great fight. I thought it was going to be a bit of a heavyweight snore fest. And it turned out to be probably one of the best heavyweight fights of that year, if not of the last 10 years. It was an amazing fight, the first one up in the Manchester Arena. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure whether that's the fight I'd like to see Derek in, but you know, I think that Dillian White's fighting Anthony Joshua probably next if that sign doesn't happen around the belt. So I think it's a bit of a mute conversation. I think that fight's pretty much done if I read in from the outside.
KSI's team met with John Fury, Tommy Fury's team. What do you know, Kalle?
No, yeah, KSI's team. That would be me and my brother who went up to. We had a lovely cup of tea with John. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and it was super interesting to sit down with him. Actually, it's the first time I've known Tyson for years. Going back to his very early pro days, he trained in our Berlin gym at the time. Great family, boxing family, and it was good to exchange very direct words with John, and I'm confident we get a deal done.
When?
Do you think
For when?
When you know, well, let us work that out. I'm quite confident we get a deal done.
obviously that fight with Jake Paul and KSI was on the tip of everyone's tongues moving in to kind of pre-Joe Fournier announcement. But what is the fight that the team's going for? Is it the Jake Paul fight or is it the Tommy Fury fight for KSI later on in the year?
Well, I think by, I think the tables turned in Saudi. For us, we were in discussions with Jake Paul's side. There were contracts back and forth over December and January and even the beginning of February, in which, it was accepted that they were taking that fight with Tommy Fury and we were taking a fight in the interim as well, which has now turned out to be Joe Fournier. That was all accounted for, and the discussion would be that it would be late summer. We understand from them that they're not ready for that now. That's cool. We move on, and luckily enough for us, there's a couple of other options which are, massive fights. So, it's opening up that world, isn't it? Tommy's sort of shook the world, as it were, in the influencer space, crossover boxing space. So it's always easier when there's a few different names, and it makes it more interesting for everyone.
December, Cardiff, Millennium Stadium, is that an option?
It's a bit late, isn't it?
Well, we know Cardiff's booked for December from your press release.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot about that. Well, maybe that will be something else. Maybe it'll be a Tom Jones, Mams Taylor duet or something like that. We could do that. No, joking aside, I would expect. Well, first of all, the Fournier fight. A lot of people are coming out and saying that KSI is not going to win that. So I think let's not look too far past that for the moment.